If you think the Cowboys' problem is just about finding a way to keep George Pickens and Javonte Williams, then you're not looking at the film, and you certainly aren't looking at the balance sheet. We are standing at a crossroads that defines what the star on the helmet actually means in the modern era. I've seen this story before. I've watched legends walk through the tunnels of Texas Stadium, and I've watched the circus take over Jerry World. But what we are witnessing right now is a high-stakes gamble that could either resurrect the 90s dynasty or bury this franchise under a mountain of cap debt for the next decade. I'm Carlos Eduardo, and today we're having a real talk about the state of this franchise. We're not here to read press releases or repeat the company line. We're here to look at the star and ask ourselves if we're actually building a champion or just a very expensive fantasy football team. Let's get straight to the meat of it. The news is out. The Cowboys want to keep George Pickens and Javonte Williams. From my perspective, this is a move that screams desperation for a triple threat in a world where we can't even maintain gap discipline on a simple 3rd and short. Don't get me wrong. What George Pickens did in 2025 was nothing short of a stroke of genius by this front office. To bring him in after that Pittsburgh trade and watch him put up 1,429 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's playmaker territory. That's the kind of vertical threat that makes defenses tremble when they see the bright lights of AT&TStadium. I watched every snap, and what I saw on the film was a kid who catches everything in his zip code. He has that clutch factor that we've been missing since the days of Michael Irvin. When the money downs came, Dak knew exactly where to look. But here is the blunt truth. If I'm being honest with Cowboys fans, you cannot pay 2 wide receivers $30 million plus a year when your defense is ranked 30th in the league. We already have CeeDee Lamb sitting on a $34 million per year throne. If Jerry Jones authorizes another $30 million for Pickens, we are talking about $64 million tied up in 2 players who don't play a single snap when the other team has the ball. And let's talk about that other team. Our defense allowed a league-high 60 touchdowns in 2025. 60. From my seat, that isn't just a failure of talent, it's a failure of discipline. We ranked dead last in passing defense. Dead last. You could have Eichmann, Smith, and Irvin in their primes, and you still wouldn't win a Super Bowl, giving up 30 points a game like we did last season. I look at the strategy here, and I see a front office that is addicted to the star. They want the big names. They want the jersey sales. They want George Pickens making one-handed grabs for the highlight reel. But when I watch the film of our 7-9-1 campaign, I don't see a team that needs more receiving yards. I see a team that needs to learn how to tackle. I see an offensive line that, while talented with guys like Tyler Smith, still struggled with simple stunts. If we slap the franchise tag on Pickens for $28 million, which I strongly believe is the route they'll take, we are essentially punting on the chance to fix the secondary. Now, let's talk about Javonte Williams. This guy was the heart of the offense last year. Coming off those ACL and LCL tears, nobody expected him to go for 1,201 yards and 13 touchdowns. I'll give credit where it's due. That 1-year, $3 million deal was the steal of the century. It was a low-risk, high-reward move that paid off in spades. But now the bill is due. Javonte wants to cash in, and I don't blame him. He's 26, he's healthy, and he's the best bell cow back we've had since we tried to pretend Zeke was still in his prime. But when I look at the salary cap strategy, I have to ask, at what point do we stop overpaying for past performance? The Cowboys are currently staring at a $74 million cap hit for Dak Prescott in 2026. Let that sink in. $74 million. That is nearly a quarter of the entire projected salary cap of $301 million. When you have that much money tied up in a quarterback who, let's be real, hasn't delivered the big one yet, every other dollar has to be spent with surgical precision. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm sitting Javonte down and saying, look, we love the grit. We love the way you hit the holes, but we can't give you a 5-year deal when we need 4 new starters on defense. What I see on the film is a Dallas team that is playing hero ball. We rely on Dak to throw for 400 yards because we know our defense can't stop a nosebleed. We rely on CeeDee and Pickens to make impossible catches because our scheme is often predictable. This is not the Cowboys' way. The Cowboys' way, the legacy of Landry and Stobachas, was about precision, discipline, and a defense that was feared across the NFL. Right now, the only thing feared about the Dallas Cowboys is our accounting department. Look at the rivals. The Eagles are building from the trenches out. The Commanders are finding young, cheap talent. And here we are, trying to figure out how to keep 2 elite receivers while our safety position is extremely unstable, as the reports say. If we don't fix the gap discipline on the defensive side, it won't matter if Pickens has 2,000 yards. We'll be watching the Super Bowl from our couches again, wondering where it all went wrong. I'm looking at the names on the free agent list. Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne. These are the guys Javonte will be compared to on the open market. If the Cowboys think they can get him on a team-friendly, multi-year deal, they are dreaming. He knows his value. He knows he carried this run game, but my analysis says we need to be careful. We saw what happened when we overpaid Zeke. We cannot afford a repeat of that. The pursuit of the next Super Bowl ring requires a cold, hard look at reality. It requires us to stop being America's team on the billboards and start being America's team on the film. If that means letting a talent like Pickens test the market because we need that $28 million to sign 3 starting caliber defenders, then that is what a leader does. That is what a strategic commentator tells you even when it hurts. We play under the bright lights. We have the most beautiful stadium in the world. We have the legacy of the triple threat. But legacies are meant to be built upon, not lived in. If we keep prioritizing the flash over the foundation, we will continue to be a team that is all hat and no cattle, as they say in Texas. I want to see the star back on top. I want to see a defense that hits like Darren Woodson and a run game that wears you down like Emmett. But most of all, I want to see a front office that understands that discipline starts with the cap. The next few weeks will tell us everything we need to know. If we slap that tag on Pickens and ignore the defensive rankings, we are telling the world that we care more about YouTube highlights than championship trophies. If we sign Javonte to a massive multi-year deal while neglecting the offensive line's depth, we are repeating the mistakes of the last 2 decades. From my perspective, the only way forward is to prioritize the star over the individual. We need athletes, yes. We need Pickens' speed and Javonte's power. But more than anything, we need a plan that doesn't involve Dak Prescott's cap hit, choking the life out of our roster. Jerry Jones likes to say he's all in. Well, Jerry, all in means making the tough decisions, not just the popular ones. It means being blunt with the fans and saying, we can't keep everyone. This is the Dallas Cowboys. We don't settle for prolific offenses that lose in the first round or miss the playoffs entirely at 7-9-1. We settle for rings. And until I see a defensive overhaul that matches the intensity of our offensive stars, I'm going to keep calling it like I see it. The film doesn't lie, and the film says we are a soft team with a loud voice. It's time to get quiet, get disciplined, and get back to work. We've got the talent, we've got the history. Now let's see if we have the guts to build a roster that can actually survive the money downs in January. Because right now, America's team is just a nickname. I want to see it become a reality again.